Alright, you little beauties of the interwebs, Glyn here, CheapSkate Gaming, and this is going to be basically a roundup of 2023, my favourite, hottest games of 2023. All budget games, all available for that £1 or around that sort of mark. So let's stop dilly-dallying and let's just jump straight on into it. Let me just change that to here. And my first game is Wallworld. This game was fantastic. I didn't think I'd enjoy this quite as much as I did. So it's a very simple premise. You control this sort of that spider bot there going up the wall, and then every so often you can go in and you can basically mine in the wall. It's not really my style of game, but it just becomes so addictive because as you're going along, you're upgrading the spider bot. You can get further. You get attacked by this great big horrible spider thing that comes along and starts trying to kill you. When you first play it, you're not very strengthed up at all, but as you get a bit further, you find you basically push the big horrible thing away. It gives you another 20 minutes on it, and essentially every 20 minutes you get attacked by this big horrible, I don't know what it is, it's like a giant spider. And that's the sort of premise of that game. I really enjoyed it. Here we are. You can see the spider here now. That's it. It tries to punch you off the wall. And the first time you destroy it, you feel so elated. You think you've done marvellous things. And it comes back 20 minutes later. And it'll come back 20 minutes again after that. And that's Wallworld. So next up, we've got Ittle Dew. Now, Ittle Dew was part of a package on Fanatical. So you got Ittle Dew 1 and 2. I'm only really putting Ittle Dew 1 in. I tried Ittle Dew 2 and I didn't enjoy it as much, but this one I preferred it. Although it's Ittle Dew 2 has more 3D graphics, this one stuck with the 2D formula, e.g. like the old Zeldas, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. The puzzles were great. It wasn't too long. It never got too stale or boring. There's multiple ways you can do each puzzle depending on what skills you pick up. It's got, like I say, it's got quite funny blurbs and tasks in it. And again, I'll just go and check now how much we can pick this up for. And I dare say it won't be much, but it's not on Fanatical anymore. It'll do global. It's still it'll do 2. Pick it up for £1.35. Okay, so that was Ittle Dew 1. Thoroughly enjoyable. So I'll just leave this video play out because I've set this video up and I'm doing this trying to do it all live, trying to save myself some time here. Right, there we go. That's the end of Ittle Dew. Next up, the fantastic Rollerdome. This is bonkers good. Really good game. Let me just see how much we can get this one for.
And in the arena, there will only be the victorious.
Yeah, you can get a European key cheaper than you can a global key, but it's worth every penny anyway. So, global key of this is about £1.70. The European key is only about £1.06. Fabulous. As you can see, it's like Jet Set Radio, but with an arena shooter. And you can just combo stuff together. Really. There's one game you get off this list. Get this one. You won't be disappointed. And I believe that this game is available for all the consoles as well. So you can get it on like PlayStation and Xbox as well. Although you won't be paying just over £1 on those consoles. I like the art style as well. I'm a fan of the cell shaded. Some people don't like it, but the thing with cell shaded graphics is they stand the test of time. So, you look at this in 10 years time, the game will still look pretty good. Next up, GRIS. Love this platformer. Great emotional journey platformer. Let me just see how much we can still get this for. That's quite hard to find. I will find it, and of course all links and all places where you'll be able to get the games will be linked in the description. Most of them will be from Aniba, simply because a lot of the ones I've got are Fanatical. The Fanatical deals have already ended. But GRIS is a puzzle platformer. It's one of those where it doesn't have a spoken narrative, but the narrative is all done visually. And as you can see there, the bird So it kind of reminded me of Ori and the Blind Forest, that sort of game, or Ori and the Will o' the Wisp. It has that sort of play to it. Not as hard as those games can get, but I really enjoyed it. Fabulous little game, GRIS. And again, I'm not sure how much you can get this one for, but the link will be in the description. It won't be much. It won't be much. It'll be probably under £2, less than £1. It's just tricky to find at the minute. I'll try doing it again. Oh, next up, this is one I played recently. Prodeus. It's a Doom clone, and it's got everything. It basically takes Doom, yanks the volume up to 13. The gore is great. The level design is fantastic. The graphics are really good, although you don't need a super powerful PC to run this game. I was very, very impressed with Prodeus. Also, the video did quite well with me. It got a few hundred views, which is unusual for some of these videos, but Prodeus was a banger. Excellent game, really good. And again, I think we picked this one up for just over £1. Let me just check. Prodeus was, if I can spell it rightly, Prodeus, yeah, you can pick it up for just about £1.13, so just over £1. This is a cool one, Scarlet Tower. So if you've ever heard of the game that was a big hit recently called Vampire Survivors, well, essentially this is Vampire Survivors, different version, and again for about the same price, about £1.20, £1.19. Links will be in the description. So essentially it's like apparently you can complete this game. I thought it was like an endless runner roguelike, but you can actually defeat a final boss. It takes so many hours to do that. So I don't know if you can save your runs in the middle of the go, but as you go around, it's basically like a bullet. It's a little bit like a bullet hell, but you gain powers. You get a choice to choose this power or that power, and you keep adding to your powers. And essentially become a almost unstoppable force then. But of course the enemies do get harder. You can see some of the bosses there playing out. But yeah, Scarlet Tower definitely deserves to be in my favourite games of 2023. What do we have up next? Oh, great, Vane. Now remember, a lot of these games aren't from 2023. It's just that this is the year that I managed to get them for next to nothing. And this is going to be another one which is going to be tricky for me to find how much you can get it for at the minute, but I will put the link in the description. In fact, I might put it on the screen how much you can get it for at the moment. Ones with shorter titles are harder to find instantly. But yeah, Vane, great game, great. I love the graphic style of this game. It's another one of those where it won't age. It will age well, in other words, because it has that sort of gritty, loose, grungy polygon, low polygon style. And like I say, it's got manipulation of the polygon graphics. Another one I finished and completed. Takes about 3 to 4 hours in all. There's a couple of little puzzles in there. There's flight mechanics, and the flight mechanics very good as well. What it does everything really well, and I was just very, very impressed with it. It's one of those ones when some games I play, I instantly know if I'm going to enjoy it and carry on playing it. This was one of them, so definitely worth a shout, and I'm sure you can get this one for actually under £1, and that is Vane. Fabulous. Oh, next up, Reventure. Talk about fun, talk about enjoyment, talk about low-end graphics that essentially the graphics don't do. And again, in £1, I was looking now, £1.13, you can still pick this up for on a global key. So don't be put off by the super low, almost 8-bit style graphics. It's different. What I love about this game is that it's not about the life, it's about the way you die, and I think there's over 100 ways or more to die. So as you play the game, you will get further and further each time, but depending on how you die depends on how you come back. So say you're burned to death, you'll come back all charred and scarred, or and there's all different things like that. It's hard to explain unless you play it, and it's actually a really clever piece of software, and I just loved it for that. It made me smile, it made me keep coming back and keep playing it to see what other endings, and you can get quite far. Now I don't know if you can complete it 100%, maybe you can, I mean, I think I got about 40 off the different endings. I got to the princess, and then one of them, I think I fell on her and crushed her to death, and there was all different things like that, and one where she didn't want to get rescued, and so, but that was Reventure, great, and you can get that for like literally £1. Observation, what a horror game. Really, really good. And again, this one you can still get it for, let me just double check, we will come this one. I get £1.06. So all these games are so far under the £1.30 mark that I put up. So yeah, great narrative, great graphics. You might need a little bit more of a powerful PC to run this one, simply because of the 3D graphics in it. But apart from that, I enjoyed it. It had, it was different. It reminded me of an old horror film that, I'm terrible, my memory's starting to go now, but there's an old space horror film where they're next to the black hole, and instead of the black hole in this, you're on, I think it's Saturn is the place you're near. Yeah, that was Observation. Played it all the way through, loved it. And I think this is the final one. This is number 10, and it's a little puzzle game. And again, you can pick this one up. I think this one is under a pound for both of them. Normally they're about, trying to spell the word monument, and it's Monument Valley. If I didn't say I'm trying to find out how much it is. Monument Valley. Yeah, £1.12. Now it has been cheaper than that, but. And Monument Valley 2 has gone up now. It was cheaper one time, but Monument Valley 2 is 168. Both are included really in this one. Fantastic. But even at £1.12, what a great buy. Fantastic puzzle game, messes with your mind, and that's more or less the list over and done with. Sorry about the little bit of jang. I didn't want to do a load of video editing. I wanted to get it all done in one one easy to approach go, and I'm just roll that off without a single edit. I think there'll be one edit in there where I forgot the name of Ori from Ori and the Blind Forest. Anyway, hopefully, as I say, all the links to these will be in the description. They're not 2023 games, they're just the 2023 is the year that I managed to find. Well, I've got them for that price now. They're starting to go up in price, so be careful. Like I say, that Monument Valley 2 has gone up to 168. As keys become rarer, they would go more expensive. Now, some of these games were bought from Fanatical. Some were bought from another site that I've stopped using. But I will leave links to all of these on Aniba, as they're more or less around about the £1.10, £1.20 mark for each and every one of those games. So, and with Aniba, you can only add 10 games to your basket. So essentially, you can add all 10 of these games to your basket, pay about, it's going to come to about £1. It's going to come to about £12 or £13 once you paid your fee as well, depending on how you're paying. And that would be an absolute fantastic 10 games that you will get hours and hours of fun out of. Great thing about those games, none of them are a lot of them are quick plays. So like the games like Warwood at the start there, you can play it for a one-off session. It could last 20 minutes, it could last 40 minutes, it could last an hour, depending on how your run is going. But then you could play Reventure, where a run could last 3 minutes to 7 minutes, not normally more longer than 10 or 15 minutes on Reventure. And then you've got games like Observation, where it takes about 4 or 5 hours to do the whole game, but of course you can save it and carry on. So none of the games are like 20-hour marathons or 40-hour marathons. They're all able to be done in a night or in a couple of nights, which there's a lot less of those games around now. And everyone wants to make these AAA games 100 hours of gameplay. We haven't all got the time, and also a lot of the time we haven't got the energy to be playing 100-hour games. I have played some of those this year. Robocop, I think, took about 12 to 15 hours. That's on a live play. You can watch all of those. Hogwarts Legacy, I think that was nearly 40 hours that I've played this year. I'm trying to think what else I've played. I've got Spider-Man to do at the minute. I'm playing Kena Bridge Spirits at the moment on my PS5. And that's mostly it. So, guys, I hope you have a really good end to the year, because 2023 has been an absolute, hasn't been the greatest of years. I think most people have had a pretty dumpy year. So, can 2024 get any better? We hope so. Anyway, I've been Glint. This has been CheapSkate Gaming, Weird and Wonderful World of Games. My top 10 games that I've purchased through 2023. Still available. Most of them still available for, well, nearly all of them under £1.30. So all links in the description. I don't get a cut back. I don't get a penny. So don't worry, you're not paying me. Or I'm not getting paid to sell you rubbish. They're all personal for games that I love, enjoy, still playing some of them. Others I've already finished and completed, like Vane. I won't go back to Vane. I finished it. I won't be going back to Observation. I finished that. But I just thought I'd bring them to your attention because they're great games. Still playing Warworld. Love it. Reventure, great little game to keep going back to. Rollerdome, fabulous. Gets quite hard though, Rollerdome. Does really get quite hard. Anyway, I think this video's gone on quite long enough now. We're getting to probably going to get to the 16-17 minute. I don't want to make a half-hour video at the end of the year. So all I've got to do now is wish you all a very happy new year. I'm going to see you in the new year in January with Weird and Wonderful World of Games and some others. Got to do some rant videos soon, haven't I? There's plenty to rant about. Okay, goodbye now. Glyn out.
CheapSkate Gaming, yeah, you know the name. They got the games that won't break the bank, so come on over and join the crew. They'll show you how to game and save money too. CheapSkate Gaming, yeah, you know the name. They got the games that won't break the bank, so come on.